Good morning, hello, and welcome. Welcome to Wednesday. I don't know if anybody remembers back in the I think like the late 90s, there was a singer called Lisa Loeb. Well, I say was. I mean, she's still around. She hasn't passed, but she had this song called "Stay," and it was brilliant. But her album was called Nine Stories at the same time, and one of her songs, one of my favorite, one of my sister's favorite albums, in Nine Stories, there's this song called Waiting for Wednesday, and I feel like that's what I've been doing. We've got the incredible Sarah Cooke joining us today in just a few minutes time after we've done the shit weather. But good morning everyone. Jodie Bell first passed the post this morning. Hello my darling. Vicky Head, good morning. Vicky was on the show last week. Another previous guest on the show, Louise Westry, good morning. All right, Busy. All right, Trico, how are you doing? Sandra, hello, all is well. Fabulous. Sandy, good morning, my darling. Yes, so Vicky, you remember Lisa Loeb? The whole album is one of those kind of indie type albums that you might not have listened to. It wasn't necessarily mainstream, the whole album, but it was brilliant. It's a beautiful kind of really like obscure acoustic. Oh, there's all sorts of fabulousness on there, but go and check it out if you haven't already. There's my recommendation for you for this Wednesday. The fabulous Lisa Loeb and Nine Stories. Good morning, Hannah Clifford. Hello, Sarah Savory in the house. Katie Page, good morning, sweetheart. Sarah Finley, good morning. Sandra, you loved her too. I love her still. I don't want to like kill her off. That would be horrific. Can you imagine if that hit the news now that suddenly something happened to Lisa Loeb? If you're out there, please get in touch with the show. Let us know that you're safe. Right. So let us know where you are in the UK. I am your host. My name is Dani Wallace. I am the Queen Bee. Very broad statement to make, but you are too. Here's the thing. I am the Queen Bee. It's a statement of reclamation of power. It is a reclamation of your birthright to success, to abundance, to all of the good things in life. They are yours for the taking if you choose to fly anyway. And that is what this show is all about. I share with you some of the incredible people in my life. I share with you their businesses, their methodologies, and hopefully it will inspire you to go and learn a little bit more about what it is that they do. So let's start off. We've got Bonnie Scotland in the house this morning. Do you like it? I was like, I'm furnishing you with my accent abilities today. They're not abilities, by the way. Like, I am abysmal at accents. Where's my little rainy bee for Scotland? There it is. The rainy bee up with Scotland. I'll pop it there in the middle, and then if anybody's anywhere else, then we can furnish you accordingly. Pardon me, I'm going to sneeze. God bless me. Oh my goodness. I do hope she's still making great music. I believe she is. I believe that she's still doing a little bit around America. It is bright and sunny in Bexhill-on-Sea. Is Bexhill-on-Sea? Hannah, let me get this right. Is it in the south? I'm just making the geography up today. It's on sea, so you're around there. You can adjust it accordingly. You can tell me in a second. This time next week, you will be in Mallorca without the kids. Stop it. I'm going to live vicariously through Louise Westry next week. I am going on a thank you. I am going on a planning weekend with one of my incredible friends, Deep Bajwa. We're going to Birmingham to have a planning weekend. I'm taking the old flip chart down, and we are going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, hold up in an Airbnb, and we're going to plan some things, which is great to do with your friends from time to time. If you've got friends that are running in the similar circles, in similar directions to you, it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing to do. So what we've done is we've got a really nice Airbnb, really nice kind of creative space. Going to take the flip chart down, and we are going to we're going to plan out what the next kind of 12 months look like. Have a bit of a strategy session for the both of us. It is super sunny. We've got the Scotch GRB out this morning, right? So I'm going to just like furnish the southeast coast here with some sunny bees. There you go, you lot. It's all down there. It's all gorgeous. Need some Dani Wallace in my life this morning. Nikki Louise James, have some. There you go. This is my gift to you. A little bit of me this morning. How are you doing, my angel? Louise, I'm living vicariously through that. We're all living vicariously through Sandra this week as she is on holiday in sunny Spain. We're clear sky in Elgin at the top of Scotland. There we go. I want to pop a little Scorchio up there. Deep is a gem. She is absolutely. In fact, if you are in the events industry and you wanted to break the luxury end of the events industry, the Luxury Wedding Lounge is the place to be hanging out. Do go and check it out. Awesome. Love you guys. I love you too, Louise Westra. Oh, nice, says Nikki. Yes. And me and Nikki, of course, we are kicking off with all of our fabulous masterminders this evening, which is super exciting. So those of you will know, a few weeks ago, me and Nikki launched our Rockstar Level Up Mastermind. That begins in earnest tonight, which we are super excited about. We had a welcome call last week. We are starting the work tonight, which we're really excited about. We, as we were telling you, we're going to be creating a book. So not just I'm writing a book for me, but we are going to be writing a collaboration book with the masterminders as well, which is going to be fabulous. So more on that to come, because we're going to need your help with that a little bit later down the line. You fabulous humans. Parallel, good morning. Right. Okay. We've done the shit weather. We've not, in fact, where are you lot? What's happening this morning? That is the shit weather. We've only got Scotland in the southeast. What's happening? Where are you all? Come on, tell me. Let me have a peep outside. Do you know what? We've got the potential for Scorchio outside, but it is just a bit shit in Preston. I think that should just live there by default, unless anything drastic changes. Let me get my hair sorted. We've got guests coming now. Make yourselves look presentable, everybody. Where can you buy my first book? The first book is actually back on sale on the website. It will be available on Amazon in the next couple of weeks. However, you can get it on www.iamthequeenbee.co.uk, and you can go and grab yourself a copy. Quite a few of you have. Now it comes back in stock, because at the moment what we do is we buy print runs, have the print runs available, and then when they sell out, we have to order some more. We are on our 4th print run, which is pretty cool, for Closed Mouths Don't Get Fed, which is this one. Look at this. We're shamelessly plugging this morning. I'm not even going to hold back. You're getting it. This is Closed Mouths Don't Get Fed. So this is how to use your voice to get more clients, earn more money, and get positioned as the expert in your field. It's a little book. I make no bones about it, but there is gold in their pages. So if you do want to get a hold of it, iamthequeenbee.co.uk / No, there's no / Just go there and then click shop. It'll be in there. Good morning, Gozzy. Previous guest on the show. I'm in London. The weather is warm and a little cloudy. You lot in the south are represented. What above the Watford Gap? What above the Watford Gap? What is happening in the north? It's such a stunning cover. Shall I let you into a secret about this cover? I took this picture. It's just a selfie that I took, and then I did the edit on it. So, and then Wallace did the design. So we did this in-house. So a lot of what you see, it looks wicked. But we do a lot of it in-house, which we're really, really lucky that we're able to do. So Wallace did the design, and I took the picture. And look, it was at a time I'd not got my nails done. It's my only regret is that I don't have because normally I have some super funky nails happening, but I don't on that picture. But I took it. So we have all the rights to everything, which is pretty cool. I've ordered a book. It's been shipped. That's exciting. Erica, yes, I would love one. Fabulous, Erica. Go on the website. Oh, we're selling a book this morning. That's fine. Okay, I'm here for this. Okay. It's Graham Merky near Banbury. I was still in the south at Banbury, Katie. I know some of you are watching over on my personal profile, and I can't see your what's the word? Your comments. So if you're going to paint some nails on, you could deface my book just so I can feel better about having nails on the front cover of my book. Yeah, so if you are on my personal profile, Dani Wallace, I can't see your comments. If you are telling me about the weather where you are, jump onto the Queen Bee Dani page and watch us on there, because I can't see it and I don't know why. I don't know how to fix it. In fact, remind me. I've got to troubleshoot that. Got to work that out. Okay, without further ado, like I said, I've been waiting for Wednesday because I've been waiting for this fabulous person to get over onto here so I can share her with you. We are going to be talking this morning about goal setting and boundaries, and how boundaries are just as important as setting your goals. We have the incredible, the gorgeous, the fabulous Sarah Cooke. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. I'm really good. How are you doing?
How
you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Finally here.
I know. I put a shout out a bit back, and you was like, "Pachoo!" straight in, and I love it. I'm really, really, really glad that you're on the show. So we have a really loose format. It is an incredibly loose format on the show here at the Short Wise Up Rise Up show. What we do is we talk about how we met, then we talk about what you do, then we talk about what brought you to what you do, and then we talk about what you're excited about. And it is my pleasure to share this with everybody this morning. So, Sarah, how did we meet? How did we meet? We met this year.
Well, I've kind of been stalking you for a little bit.
I love it. It's okay. We're friends now. It's fine.
Changed my world last year, I think, when I was kind of looking at what I was doing and where I was going with my life and my business and change and all the rest of it. And then you just kept popping up, as you do. And
I do. I can't help it. I'm so sorry.
Maybe you were still
in a box on people's news feed.
My profile. And then we met properly this year, didn't we?
Yes.
In our mastermind.
Right.
Yes. That's when we've properly connected.
We did. So Lisa, you finally found the page. Fantastic. There she is. I can see you now, Lisa Hart. Hello. So people have been migrating over to the Queen Bee Dani page because I can't see anybody's comments on my personal profile, even though we stream there so people can watch. But I can't engage with anybody on there until after the show, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. So if you are watching on my personal profile, go to the Queen Bee Dani page or indeed in the Hive. Right. Enough about that. Enough about that. More about you, because I want to know more and I want to share with everybody here a little bit more about the fabulousness that is Sarah Cooke. Tell us about what you do.
So I am a marketing and business coach for health and wellness professionals.
Right.
And it's kind of been a combination, I guess, of my life experiences and my journey, which has kind of led me to where I am now. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, helping people grow and scale their health and wellness business without burnout, because as health and wellness professionals, we give and give and give and forget to look after ourselves.
we're like these fabulous watering cans, just going watering everybody's flowers like this, and then we get shocked when we're like, what do you mean? I'm running on empty and I've got to fill my can back up.
Exactly. And that's a big part of what I do, because I've been in that position and I know how important it is. And I think whatever business you're running, we were talking about boundaries earlier, and it's so important that we have those boundaries or know where to flex them if you have to change. And I think especially the last few months with everyone kind of having world tipped on its head, boundaries have become looser potentially, and kind of regaining those is really important, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even I found it, and everyone around me has kind of watched this happen. We moved my office upstairs, and I say office, I mean my corner of the room where my computer is at. That's my office. Into my bedroom. But now I'm like Rapunzel. So I wake up in the morning, I roll out of bed, have a wash, sit here, work, go to the toilet, have something to eat, and roll back into bed again. And like from a boundary point of view, because it's just because I've not been able to go anywhere. So ordinarily there would be boundaries. I'd be in the car, or I would be, there would be time when I would be inaccessible. But because I'm accessible all the time, there's that little switch in your head that goes, oh, well, I'm here. I might as well answer the message, or I'm here. I might as well answer the email. Where actually probably indoors, the boundaries are more important than ever before, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think even because everyone's at home, people have had that assumption that you're available all the time, as you said. So that message comes through at 11 o'clock at night and you're like, oh, I'll just tick it off. I'll just reply now. And then you get one back and you're like, oh, that wasn't the plan.
Oh, you're awake too. That was not what I wanted. Or you get the question marks.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you? Why are you not replying to me? 3
question marks. No, nothing else. Do you ever get this? Does it anyone? Because I don't answer these, by the way. Or I send some question marks back now. When people who I don't know, I don't owe anything to, will go, I want to pick your brains. And they'll give me this big long thing. I want to pick your brains of this, this, and this. And then I don't answer because it's a ridiculous time. And then I get question marks. Fuck off.
Like you just want to go delete.
Yeah, no, thank you. So what brought you to this particular kind of work then? What brought you to helping others? Because the story of how people come to help people never, ever ceases to fascinate me.
Yeah. It has been a journey, but it's kind of something that's run all the way through my life, I suppose. So I've always loved health and wellness. I played a lot of sport. Competed for England in lacrosse, so played at a really high level, so understood what I needed to do for looking after myself, I think.
Right.
Then I had a whole load of injuries and had to learn to walk again, and some kind of really big stuff that happened. So,
just some kind of really big, just some kind of big stuff.
Exactly. And I think just those kind of things, you just go, well, it keeps setting you those crossroads, doesn't it? Of going, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to accept the fact that I'm not going to be able to walk? I'm not going to be able to play sport again? Or do I want to play that? Do I want to go back into this? And so quite early on, I kind of had to learn a little bit of resilience and mindset stuff. And I always wanted to combine sport and business. No idea why or how, or that's just two of my things that I kind of love doing. And I was told at school in those good old careers service advisors, you need to become a physiotherapist. That's the only thing you can do is to combine sport. And I was like, no, being a female in sport, being in a sport that no one really knew about, that wasn't going to make me any money either. Right. So I was like, okay, that's out the window.
That's super niche, isn't it?
It is pretty niche. And so I ended up going and working for one of the biggest healthcare companies, and working on some of the biggest health brands in the world, and things like Panadol and Aquafresh, some sort of on the consumer side, but really in different therapeutic areas. So learning about allergy, pain relief, weight loss, nutrition, smoking cessation. So across the whole board, really, marketing, sales, business development.
Right.
And then I moved, we were having this conversation about kind of needing to get out and that sort of claustrophobia and things. And I got married quite young, and we were both kind of a bit fed up of the London life, and didn't really want to settle down, didn't really want to have kids at 26, and just went, actually, let's just go travel the world. And then my husband got offered a job in Asia for a year. And we were like, do you know what? That's great. That's perfect. We can go and work. My work for me to work remotely from Asia. So
that's
we
lucky position to be in, isn't it? To go and do
it was like amazing. Yeah. And because it was a year, we really maxed out on travel because we didn't have the responsibilities or ties of anything else. But that 1 year turned into 7 years. So.
It does when you got the bug, isn't it? When you kind of are able to travel. I'm very much the same. I went to do a contract when I was like 17, but I was 18 at the time, and I didn't come back till my into my early 20s, because it just does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think I've always had a real fascination about people generally, and different cultures, different ways of doing things, and you can learn so much from other people anyway, can't you? Let alone in different parts of the world where things are totally different. And so I absolutely loved it, but kind of carried on going up the corporate ladder and heading to a world of burnout, I guess, of traveling a lot. Being in Asia meant that I was doing a lot of traveling. At that point, I was marketing manager for the whole region of Asia, and was traveling pretty much every fortnight, doing a lot of events, and then hit the good old corporate toxic relationships of just not enjoyable. Long story short is probably the easiest way to cover that one.
It happens so often within corporate as well. And this is not me knocking it. It's just you've got to be very, 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 very resilient.
Yeah.
When you get so far along on the corporate ladder, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes on in terms of politics and positioning.
Yeah.
That you often don't have so much control over, or you've got to be so dogged and blinkered that you can't really care about anybody else like you would like to, because everybody else is looking for their next step as well. And sometimes their next step is on you or over you. And that's a really tough dynamic to be within when you're trying to do the best.
Definitely. And I think all those things kind of led to that resilience again of, literally starting from scratch in a different country where I knew no one, to then going into this sort of, role of much higher level, and then hitting this sort of corporate politics, building up that resilience, and having to set my boundaries as to what I was prepared to do and not do.
Right.
And then at that kind of 7 years, or it was about 5 years after that, then I was pregnant. So that was all fun. That was part of the plan then, once we'd done a bit more travel. But being in Asia, I only had 2 months maternity leave.
Right.
And living a completely different part of the world, I had no friends and family around me that could help me, support me. And I thought, actually, this gives me that perfect opportunity to reassess priorities, what I want from life, what I'm enjoying, what I want, and actually having that time to spend with my child.
Yeah.
And I had a really difficult birth. It was really long, nearly lost him, and it was just hideous. And again, that was another moment of going, what do I want from life? Like,
yeah,
when I think when you're put in that real deep, dark hole of going, I mean, you know this too. Of
your mortality's in the balance, I guess.
Exactly. And you just go, well, this isn't what I planned. This isn't what I'm enjoying. So what can I do?
Yeah.
And I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning, one morning after another night feed with him. And I just thought, I've got to do something for me. I'm loving being a mum, but I was having emotional struggles, physical struggles because of the birth as well. And I was like, I just need to learn. I need something headspace wise that's for me. So that's when I signed up at 4 o'clock in the morning for this holistic health and massage therapy course, because it was something that was just something that interested me. I hadn't really planned on setting up as a business. It was just something away from baby space that was for me, my interest, love what I did. Qualified in that and became fully booked within 5 months. And so it was just, and I hadn't planned on setting up as a business. It was really interesting, because I think it was the passion that kind of came through. And this is what I teach with clients as well, is that
love it.
Passion has to shine through, doesn't it? And I'm such a giver anyway. And I think that was why I struggled with the corporate life, that I just felt like I was giving and giving and giving. Right. But with the therapy, I could give and I could see that I was getting something back because I was helping people there and then. And clients who I had to see as part of my qualification were kind of like, well, when can we book with you again? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do this.
And if we're going to do it, go all in. Why not? I'll see you next week.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved it because I could be flexible around my little baby and it kind of worked really well for me. But then obviously becoming fully booked really quickly. And I think I kind of took for granted what I'd learned in my years and years of marketing and strategy and things. I knew how to find people. I knew what I needed to do. Once I decided it was going to be a business, it kind of ran. And becoming fully booked was what everyone wants to do. But actually, it leads to a whole other series of issues. And that's what I found really quickly. And I think so many people do, don't they? It's like, you set up in business, your aim is to become fully booked, and you're like, oh, I've hit an income ceiling. I've lost my flexibility.
Yes.
If I get sick, I don't have a business. If I want to go on holiday, God forbid, as business owners, taking holidays. But that was important for me. I was still living abroad. I still wanted to be able to travel and have that flexibility.
I had exactly the same experience when I moved out of corporate, directly moved into singing. You know, that there was already ssort of a transition that was taking place as I was kind of coming out. And I was doing the odd gig, and I was frightened of taking on any more just in case. You know, the work, my previous work was questioning whether, you know, I should be doing other things. And I was like, right, okay, cool. But when I came out, that was it. I was working Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday. The week was picking me up on Thursday and spitting me out on Monday or Tuesday. And I was getting Tuesday off and Wednesday-ish off. And I was heading for burnout, and I couldn't earn any more.
Exactly. You can't work any more hours. You physically can't do it.
No.
And
I remember crying that I didn't want to leave the house because I was so tired to then go and perform. And I guess it's the same in the health and wellness industry. It is very much an exchange. It is very much an energetic exchange, because it isn't just the doing of the thing. If you're massaging, it is an energy exchange.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is a wonder. It's no wonder at all why so many within the health and wellness industry do get depleted, do get exhausted, tired, burnt out, because they're giving.
Yeah, it's the physical side as well as the sort of emotional side, I think, because you do have that connection with your clients. And, you know, a lot of people do use it as a semi-counselling session as well, because it's their time to just download, and they haven't got their family around with them to proper offload. And I think it's both sides. And so that's one of the big things that I work with people on is, you know, you can have that successful business without burnout. If you've got your boundaries, if you've got clarity around your boundaries and you know what your lifestyle goals as well as your financial goals are, then you can create that business that works for you. And that's so important. And again, whatever industry you're in, it's so important that we have that clarity, because I think for me, what I've seen is so many kind of business strategists or whatever, what you want to call them, always focus just on the financial goals. Where do you want to be in next year? It's so important that we have that lifestyle goal as well, because you can't work all the hours. And if it doesn't if it doesn't light you up or you start resenting what you're doing, you start losing that passion. And that's just such a shame, because you've gone into it because you want to help people.
Yeah, that's it. We did. I don't know if you saw. We were really lucky. We got some national newspaper coverage on Monday, and one of the things that the journalist asked was to give a top tip for business. Now, I should really practice what I preach with this one, but it's funny that you say that, because one of the things that I hadn't really thought about before, but came out of my mouth when she'd said, is what if you're speaking to somebody who's starting out, or who's just like a year in or whatever, what would your good piece of advice be? And I was like, and it came out to have a business strategy and a self-care strategy that runs side by side. And I was like, I was clutching my pearls, because I was being advised by my own advice. I was like, oh, that's what you've got to do, Dani. You're not doing it.
Someone was telling you that.
I was like, that was the unit I was channeling. Like, you've got to have a self-care strategy and a business strategy that can work together and run side by side, not just to keep your business safe, but to keep you safe as well, because there is no business without you until you've grown your business to a point where you can step out of it and have it all run around you. Now, a lot of us aren't there yet. It takes a lot to get into that position with your business.
It does. And it's so hard to say no, I think, especially when you're wanting to grow your business and you're wanting to help as many people as you can do. And it's so hard. And I totally get that. I've been there too. And you do want to just give. You want to give as much of you as possible, because you want to have that impact and you want to help those people who are in your world. And I very quickly realized that actually I could help many more people not only if I looked after myself, but if I could enable other health and wellness professionals to be successful, and we could have that ripple effect across the world to help people be healthier and happier, because that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Of course. So what does the work look like? So someone comes to you, and they are hurtling towards burnout, and many people are like, they're not just taking baby steps towards burnout, they are hurtling towards burnout, and they are seeking someone to give them permission to stop, I guess. One of the things that I said to you just before we pressed go live, somebody had said to me, I was feeling really burnt out and really tired. And in fact, it was my music teacher, Ian Gray, from high school, who I've stayed in touch with to this very day. And he's been a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous sort of figure in my life. I was working my fingers to the bone, crying, leaving the house. And I remember him, we had a conversation, and he was like, who do you think you are? And I was like, you are? Who do you think you are? And I went, what do you mean? Do you think that you are so important that the world will stop spinning if you stop? Don't be ridiculous. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I'm that. But it is a permission thing. Do people often seek that from you when they're working from you? With you?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And it's interesting, actually, because I think when people do come to work with me, yes, of course, they want the marketing, the business strategy, and helping them build something that's going to work for them long term. But I always take them back to the foundational pieces. And for some, it can be really, almost frustrating, because they're like, but when do we get to the business stuff? And I'm like, you can't get to the business stuff until you've got your foundation pieces. And the foundation pieces are about your finances, and they're about your lifestyle choices. And then we can build not just a business model that works for you, but we can build a plan that's going to help you get that business model. And it's interesting. I've got a couple of new clients that are kind of coming to me and are just like, okay, I just want to get going. And I'm like,
I want to be on six figures. I want to do this.
Going. But let's just rewind slightly, because we can't build that until you know exactly what you want. And it's, it sounds kind of grand of having your mission and your vision and all the rest of it. But actually what it boils down to is, what do you want from your business? What's your why? And getting clarity on that. What does it mean to you? And sometimes that's a really hard thing to do, especially right now, where a lot of health and wellness businesses have had to close doors and they're just wanting money coming in. And I totally appreciate that. Right. But if we say yes to every single client, then whether they're your ideal one or you're not, you're going to start resenting it. So it's really hard to manage that balance of going, I've got to bring my money in, but I've got to do it on my terms. And there is a little bit of flex in that, especially when you're starting out or something like this happens, because, essentially you do have to have the money coming in, because you've got to pay the bills and you've got to feed your family and all the rest of it. But if we can build that plan that works for you, short, medium, and long term, then that's just so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when it gets to the business side of things, so you've done all this foundational work and you get to the business side of things, because it is, business strategy, marketing, the things that you really do specialize in, especially given, where you come from in corporate. Again, me in a similar position from a presentation and speaking point of view, for many, many years in the corporate sector, working for some fabulous companies.
Yeah.
People come to you and you've done that foundational work and you're like, okay, here we are. What does scaling look like? Because scaling isn't just making more money, is it?
For me, not necessarily, no. Within business, and it's the same with whatever business, there's only 3 ways to kind of grow your business, really. And it's either getting new clients in, it's getting more from your existing clients, or it's getting them to buy from you more often. And essentially, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to scale, you don't want to be bringing in new customers all the time. It's exhausting. It's really hard. And if you've got a good group of loyal people, they're going to keep buying from you if you've got the right products and services for them. So for me, it's about having that kind of multi-tiered business model, having something for different levels of your audience, because not everyone's going to be able to afford your one-to-one prices. And not everyone's going to be able to, if you're health and wellness, not everyone's going to want to go on a retreat with you or workshops and things. But there are so many different ways that you can make money, whatever business you're in. And I think it's just understanding, again, where your strengths lie, what that looks like for you. I set up, so as part of my massage therapy business, my ideal clients were sports injuries, no surprise, because I've had a lot of sports injuries, and
a thing got to having had to learn to walk again and all of that, just that small matter of having to overcome
it. And the pre and postnatal mums, because that's where I could empathize with them, and that's that was what I really wanted to help with. And a lot of the postnatal mums especially were coming to me and saying, well, what else can I do? I just don't feel like me again. I want to feel good. I want to feel like I've got something for me. And so that led me into creating a whole new business, actually, of mum and baby gifting, which was an extension of my business, but it was totally different. So I think it's sometimes just thinking outside of the box a little bit of going, well, my background is product marketing, essentially. Yes, it's within the healthcare world, and I've kind of combined that and taken it more along the health side of things. But I had a lot of experience in product marketing as well. And so that I set that up from scratch. I actually sold that earlier this year because it wasn't lighting me up enough anymore. And so it's giving yourself permission, having those sense checks within yourself regularly of going, are these things still working for me? Are they still working for my business? If not, why not? What can I do to change them? But for me, scaling is working out, again, it kind of does go back to what you want lifestyle as well as financially, but knowing what your audience wants and what they need and giving them something for that, rather than just going, oh, I've got this idea, I'm just going to go with that.
I'll do this thing. And lots of people do this. And you see lots of these on things like Dragon's Den, where you will have people that will have had an epiphany. This is a really good product. And, one of the questions like Theo will ask, so who's going to buy this? What problem are you solving that isn't already being solved by something else out there that is widely available to them? And they're like, I love it. I just want to sell it.
And quite
often, it's a good idea. Look, and they're like, but what are you solving that is different? We use the tin opener. My mum has a tin opener. An electric tin opener and a normal tin opener. Now, her normal tin opener opens it, it's really sharp, and it opens a tin manually in about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. And it's not like hard to use, it's super sharp. But then she has this electric tin opener that takes approximately half an hour to open a tin of beans. I'm like, Mum. She goes, but it's an electric tin opener. I'm like, but Mum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's done, or half an hour, and then you've got your tin of beans. What would you prefer? Like, what are they solving? And this is a lot of people, particularly within product-based industries, are trying to solve problems that maybe aren't necessarily this. Maybe having someone like yourself, when people are looking to diversify their offerings, especially in the health and wellness industry. If you are trading money for time for specific services, there's the glass ceiling. It's the same with gigs. It's the glass ceiling. You can only go so far. You can't do any more. So having somebody like yourself then look at all of the nuts and bolts of your business and saying, actually, what if you were to do this for your audience? That concept of either bringing in new clients, selling more things to the same clients, or and having repeat customers is a revelation for so many people. Having a funnel and bringing new people and you're constantly trying to connect with people all the time. Well, you've got a small but incredible audience.
Yeah, exactly. And those people love you, which is why they do keep coming back from you. And they're often the forgotten audience, because we're always told we've got to bring new people in, we've got to grow our audience. And yes, that's really important. And whatever, and just, depending on what you do, that is key. But you've got a whole load of people that love what you do already. And quite often we spend so much of our time on energy on not the wrong things, but not necessarily the right things.
Yeah. Hang on, Lisa Johnson is just saying, I would love a bullet list of the scope in the healthcare industry, one-to-one retreats, video lives, books, blogs, merch, products. I'd love to see that and more. That's interesting. Like, it's so wide and so varied that what you can create, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do you find that when people come to you, they just kind of in that, like, we're service based and that's it, and they kind of blinkered, and they need someone like you to sort of open it up?
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things, you do your qualifications, and very rarely, I certainly had no business or marketing guidance within my qualifications, and people qualify and they're just out there and gone, right, how am I going to get clients? Quite often, once they've exhausted their friends and family network, it's not in the position that they want to be in. And yes, it's useful to have your friends and family, but if you want to go past that, then what do you need to do? And yes, the in-person therapies are brilliant, and I love doing them, but actually there's so much more that you can do and so many more people that you can help if you do things in a slightly different way. And it doesn't all have to be online. I know the kind of buzz thing at the moment is to do stuff online, and it doesn't need to be. There's so many different ways, whether it's physical products, digital products, retreats, workshops. The list is almost endless. Just because
a craving, isn't there?
It doesn't mean it's specific to one coaching industry, because it's not.
Right. And there's this craving for in real life stuff now as well, isn't it? Especially coming out on the other side of this, people are seeking what to do. It's funny, just going back to what you were saying about when you get to the end of your friends and family. One of my previous mentors said to me, your work starts when the network stops. So you you can sell to the same people that are within your audience, absolutely, but still there is a degree of reaching new people. And when people start in service industry, they will go to their immediate circle, and they'll everyone will buy something, and then that's great, and then there's this period of time where they might not need you again for a little bit, and that's cool. So then what? And then you've got to work on your network.
Great phrase.
So what's coming up for you? What are you excited about, my angel? Because there's lots of things in the pipeline. It's lovely to be a part of a mastermind with you and seeing all of the things that you're getting up to. So share with us. Tell us the good stuff.
Well, so I'm, at the moment, you probably guess, I'm all about having that sustainable business. And for me, it's about future-proofing your business. Health and wellness world has taken a complete knock, as well as many other industries. But so many of us have had to close doors to physical in-person. And I think there's that real realization of going, I don't have a business if my doors are pulled, if the rug's pulled from beneath my feet, I've got nothing unless I've got that future-proof business. So that's what I'm really helping people with at the moment. I've got a free guide that's out there that I can put into the link afterwards. And it's all about kind of looking at your business model and taking that kind of emotion out of it, doing it purely from a practical perspective and going, right, what do I want from a business? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What opportunities are out there right now? Because in the health and wellness world, we're in a health crisis. I mean, if there's ever an opportunity for health and wellness professionals, it is right now.
Right.
So it's in some ways a really exciting way. And I think if you switch your mindset to what can I do? What solutions are out there? then the world is kind of your oyster. There are so many things that can be done right now to help people because, you know, anxiety levels are through the roof. People's work
stress is a huge thing right
now.
now.
Nutrition levels have changed, exercise levels have changed, that we can help people in a really, really real way and have that impact on people's lives. So yeah, so I'm all about helping people create that sustainable business, future-proof yourself. Whether that's if you become fully booked or whether that's if there's a global pandemic, that whoever thought that would happen.
I was going to say, like, 2020 is serving us up some realness this year, but yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing to say that now this has happened, it won't happen again. And I'd like to think that it wouldn't. And this is like a once in 100 years, you know, experience. But it has made a lot of people realize, what if? What if? And it's like having one social media platform, you know. One of again, I can't remember who said it to me, but don't do one of anything. Because if you do one of something, if that one thing goes away, what do you have? So in terms of like connecting with the audience, do you have one social media platform and then that's it? Or do you have Instagram or LinkedIn to help back it up just in case one goes down? You can direct people there. Or do you have an email list where you can still stay in touch with people? You know, or do you have like a little black book of people who, you know, should anything else fail, you've got something manual that you can go to? But it's having these thoughts about, what if this happens? And this contingency planning actually will help you relax. So should anything happen or a curveball happen, you don't have that, oh fuck moment. You've already had it because you've already like had a dummy run by creating something.
And also, I think, you know, on the complete flip side, if you want to go away, you know, we run our own businesses. We have the flexibility to choose when we work, how we work. If you want to go on holiday or you want to take the summer off with your kids, you should be allowed to do that. But if you've got plans in place to have your money there, you can do that. So it's kind of the highs and the lows. You know, having that sustainable business isn't just if the shit hits the fan. It's the if you want to have some good stuff too.
Yeah, and having the lifestyle that we should have if we decide to be entrepreneurs, where we're not just given the 30 days holiday a year. Because do you not find that so many people within the entrepreneurial space don't even take those 30 days holiday, or the 15 days, or the 10 days holiday, or 5 days holiday a year? They find it so difficult to step away from their business. So again, for any of you out there that are in the health and wellness industry, that want to find out more about Sarah's work, how do we get in touch with you and how do we hang out with you more?
So Facebook is probably the easiest place. Either connect with me personally, send me a DM, or I've got a group for health and wellness professionals, which is Healthy Business to Wealthy Business, or my website, sarahcookemarketing.com. Those are the kind of main places that I hang out.
Amazing. Would you be able to put the links in the comments on the Queen Bee Dani page so that people could come and find you? Is that okay?
It would be amazing. Yeah, no, that would be fab.
Wonderful. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you about the things that you're excited about. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before we go off into Wednesday and go and rip up hump day?
Oh, I am so, I think it's just one of those things, isn't it? There are so many opportunities. If you've got the passion for it and you know what you want and why you're doing it, then you can create anything you want to. And I love the kind of fly anyway movement, because that's exactly what it is, isn't it? If you've got an idea, and even if you don't know how to do it, get some help. We're such humans, aren't we? Of kind of going, oh, I've got to figure all this out on my own. Right. People have been there before you and done it, so you can find a way to do it. So thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast chatting to you.
You are more than welcome, and you are indeed right. Success leaves clues. Go and find out the people that are successful in your field. Go and hang out with them. And go and hang out with Sarah Cooke, just because she's an incredible person to have in your life. Sarah, I will speak to you shortly. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Huge love to you, my angel.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
So that was Sarah Cooke, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this morning's show. There is so much good stuff coming up on the show in the coming weeks, and we are just blessed every single day with incredible entrepreneurs such as Sarah. If you are in the health and wellness industry, I implore you to go and check out Sarah Cooke, and go and check out what she does. Like, check out how, you know, she shares with you how to get through that potential burnout, because it is what I want for all of you, is not just to have incredible successful businesses, but keep yourselves healthy, keep yourself safe whilst you do it. Right, you guys, I am off. We've got another busy day up here at Queen Bee HQ. Just as I'm just putting some accountability for myself out there, you guys. Do you know what I did? Yesterday, I completed an email sequence. I have been doing some of those little shitty jobs in the back end of my business, and I've been putting them off and putting them off and putting them off. So I'm just like going to give myself some snaps for completing one of the jobs that I should have done in my business that is going to make my life easier, but it was a pain doing in the first instance. And I want you to give this a little bit of thought. It's my parting thought with you today. Is there something within your work or your personal development or your relationship that you have been putting off, but you know that if you did it, your life was going to be easier, or your life was going to be better if you did it? I want you to think about that today. What is it that you have been putting off that you could get done? It would probably take you an hour and a half tops to do, but it has become the impossible task. Find out ways to get through this. Shout out in the hive, right? Shout out in the hive that you need to do some co-working. One of the things that I've found that has worked for me is saying to my ops manager, right, I need a babysitter. We've been live together on Zoom. She's just been getting on with her work, but the fact that I know that she's there has meant that I've had to get my head down and do it. So shout out to the incredible Danielle Hansen, who's my operations manager for Pretty Practical Business. She has just been incredible at helping me get the stuff done that I need getting done. But if you have been putting jobs off and they're going to make your life easier, this is your friendly neighborhood Queen Bee reminder to do the fucking thing. Go and get it done. Lisa Hart saying, look up Mark Twain, eat the frog for the loose jobs that you're putting off. Yeah, there's this whole theory that if you eat the frog, if you do the most difficult thing at the beginning of the day, everything else through the rest of the day is easier. But yeah, little rewards, all of that. Do share, carry on the conversation in the IATQB Hive, which is my free community. If you are not a member there already, we are just about to tip 1,000 members. So are you going to be the 1,000th member? We will have a little gift party for you if you are. Come on over, the IATQB Hive. It stands for I am the Queen Bee. You are the Queen Bee too. And I will see you tomorrow on the show at Rise Up Show, where we will be joined by the fabulous Phyllis Woodfine. I will see you then. Have an incredible Wednesday. I love you. Tra.